Hi, this is Jenny Walker from DigiGoods and Printables ELA. Welcome to Section 10 of my Argumentative Essay Writing Workshop, using transitions and transitional phrases to make your writing clear and easy to read. If you've stumbled upon this video from YouTube, you can find a link for this workshop in the description. First of all, what are transition words? Transition words are words and phrases like and, but, so, because, according to, as a result, etc. They show your reader the relationship between phrases, sentences, or even paragraphs. And when you use them, you make it easier for your readers to understand your thoughts and ideas and how they are connected. What is more, they prepare your reader for what's coming. Let's consider an example. I pushed the domino. As a result, it fell over. When you start a sentence with as a result, your reader will immediately know two things. What happened in the first something that happened in the first sentence caused something, and the second sentence is going to describe the effect or what happened. This might not seem like a big deal, but you have to remember that people are reading quickly, so every little cue that you can provide helps your reader to understand your writing easily. Let's scroll down to the next slide and learn some more about transitions. Your job as a writer is to make sure that your writing is simple, clear, and easy to read. You must create bridges for your readers to cross. These bridges are called transitions. They allow your reader to hop to new ideas without getting lost or confused. And below are a few examples. If you look at each of these sticky notes, here are some transitions that you could begin with. According to, and then you would name a person. According to, and you would provide the name of the passage of the article. Consider this. Evidence suggests that, or the article clearly states that, blah, blah, blah. Transitioning into evidence. These examples that I just cited are transitions that you would use when you are getting ready to give your evidence. A great place for a transition is just before giving your evidence. This will prime your reader's brain to know that they are about to read a piece of evidence. Without a transition, readers must stop and think, what am I reading? Transitions allow the reader to flow along without interruption. Writing that does not include good transitions often seems choppy and difficult to read. Scroll down to the next slide and let's look at some examples of paragraphs written with and without transitions. As I read the paragraphs, or as you read them on your own, think about which paragraph is easier to read. Okay, let's begin with the paragraph on the pink sticky note. I love peanut butter cookies. They're easy to make and have a short cook time. Brownies taste better. They are difficult to make and take longer to cook. They taste better than peanut butter cookies. They are chewy, gooey, and absolutely irresistible. Notice that without any transitions, this paragraph is difficult to understand. In fact, it seems to contradict itself. When it says, I love peanut butter cookies, they're easy to make and have a short cook time. Brownies taste better. They are difficult to make. This is really confusing because it doesn't have transitions to guide the reader's thinking. Let's take a look at this same paragraph written with transitions. Let's look at the purple sticky note. I love peanut butter cookies. They're easy to make and have a short cook time. However, brownies taste better. While it's true that they are difficult to make and take a longer to cook, nonetheless, they still taste better than peanut butter cookies. They're chewy, gooey, and absolutely irresistible. Can you see what a remarkable difference just these three transitional phrases and transition words make to this paragraph? This is not confusing at all. You can pause this video and read this again if you need to. Moving along, you should know that there are different types of transitions that you would use in different circumstances. Transition words can be divided into several categories based on the type of transition you want to make. There are often several words available for one transition. Sometimes they mean exactly the same. Sometimes there are slight differences. If you're not a native speaker or struggle with language in general, you'll have to study and practice their use so that you can make better choices. Let's scroll down to the next slide and take a look at some different types of transitions and transitional phrases and the categories in which they belong. The first column of transitions are categories. So in other words, you might use the transitions along the first line for if you want to show cause and effect. And then moving down that column, there's transitions for clarification, contrast, example, emphasis, etc. But let's look at the first transition type, which is cause and effect. And scroll over to the side or move to the right, and let's see how this looks in an example or what some of these transitions might be. Therefore, as a result, so, or consequently. And here's an example of that. I'm tired, therefore I'm going to bed. So as you can see, this transition, therefore, shows a cause and effect. I'm tired, so it shows the consequence, I'm going to bed. Let's look at another one. If you go down to the fourth box in the first column, example. You can use transitions when you want to give an example, and you might say, for example, or for instance. And here's an example of that. In the evening, I like to relax. For instance, I enjoy watching TV. So you can pause this video and look more closely at these transitions and the words that you would use with them and the different examples that you might use them, that they might be used in. And remember, you are free to come back when you're writing your essay if you need to look at some examples of transition words, and you can borrow any of these words for your own essay. Well, that concludes this section of your argumentative essay writing workshop. In the next section, we'll learn how to provide evidence to support your reasons and how to elaborate and discuss that evidence. Once again, if you've stumbled upon this video on YouTube, you can find a link to the workshop in the description. I'm Jenny Walker from DigiGoods and Printables ELA, and I'll see you in the next section.